Hello and thank you for coming to listen to my little podcast. It's called 21 Questions. My name's Mike van Acker. I'm a trivia host and a stand-up comedian, and I've been running trivia shows for over 20 years. I've done thousands of them in pubs and clubs around the place. Now I'm in your phone. I'm glad you're here. Let's play some trivia together. Here we go. Question 1. What do the initials IQ, as in to have a high or a low IQ, stand for? IQ stands for intelligence quotient. Intelligence quotient, and it's ironic that there'll be some people going, oh, I'm too dumb to know what that means, and thinking it's hilarious, and spoiler alert, I do too. I love a good dad joke. Question 2. What kind of fruit has a fibrous, dull, greenish-brown skin and bright green or golden flesh with rows of tiny, black, edible seeds? Can you picture that? Dull, greenish-brown skin, bright green or golden flesh, rows of tiny black edible seeds. What sort of fruit? It's a kiwi fruit. I think in some countries of the world they just call them kiwis. But we need to add the word fruit on there in Australia to eliminate any doubt whatsoever that they are in fact edible. Question 3. Which colour is also the term for a steak cooked very, very rare? That's blue. Blue, apparently you just sort of throw it in the pan for a second, either side, serve it up. Blue, it's vampire. Question 4 is always a true or false in this podcast. True or false? There are 24 standard time zones in the world. Now that's false. There are more than 24. The exact number, well, that depends on how you count them. Some people will tell you there's 35. Some people argue there's up to 40, but either way, there are more than 24. Question 5. Which 1987 American science fiction action horror film, did you get all of that? American science fiction action horror. That's quite the genre-bending film. Starred Arnold Schwarzenegger and is known for the quotes, "If it bleeds, we can kill it," and "Get to the chopper." That's Predator, and Predator was the first Arnie movie that I saw. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Question 6. When speaking of an Apple Mac, what is Mac short for? Macintosh. Question 7. In the Muslim religion, what is the holy month of fasting called? It's called Ramadan, and the month lasts for 29 to 30 days based on the visual sightings of the crescent moon. Fast is between dawn and sunset, and during that time you can have no food, no cigarettes, and no special cuddles. Says so here. Okay, after question 7, we do the first clues for the Who Am I for the episode. Today, in a little bit of a break from what we normally do, it's not a person, but it is in fact a TV show. Here we go. What TV show am I? I ran for 255 episodes between 1974 and 1984. I was set in Milwaukee in the 1950s, and I told the story of a family originally with 3 children, although the eldest son, Chuck, disappeared early in the show's run and was never mentioned again. Do you know who that is already? I think some of my listeners might. More clues coming up after question 14 if you are not one of them. Question 8, here's one for the Royal Watchers. What is Kate Middleton's younger sister's first name? Kate, of course, being Catherine, Princess of Wales. Now, the sister, she was the one who became especially famous after the wedding of Kate and William. What was her name? Her name was Pippa. Technically Philippa, but people call her Pippa Middleton. Question 9. Bit of culture for you. In the famous poem by Edward Lear, did the owl and the pussycat go to sea for A, a week and a day, B, a month and a day, or C, a year and a day? The owl and the pussycat went to sea for C, a year and a day. Question 10 is a yes or no. Yes or no, doesn't ostrich really bury his head in the sand to avoid danger? I say his, could also be her. No, they don't. What they do, an ostrich will lay flat, and from a distance it looks like they have no head, but that's not because they buried it, it's just because you're, at a distance. And from that, an entire cliche blew up. Geez, it's a funny world, isn't it? Question 11. True or false in golf? A right-handed golfer's tee shot that curves sharply to the right is known as a hook. That's false. A right-handed golfer's tee shot that curves sharply to the right, that's a slice. Either way, hooks and slices, not handy, but the only type of golf shot I can do. I rarely hit a ball straight. Not that I play much anymore for that very reason. Question 12. In which American state is the Grand Canyon? I was at the Grand Canyon with my friend Andrew in 1995, and it's in Arizona. We took a wrong turn on the way and ended up in Utah, which is not known for its Grand Canyon. Never mind. Arizona is where the Grand Canyon is. Question 13. On which animated TV show is the local convenience store known as the E-Mart? That's The Simpsons, and right now there will be Simpsons fans going, oh, come on. Is that the hardest question you can ask? And no, it's not. I've done an entire episode of questions on The Simpsons. It's just not a podcast. It's only a live show. I think at some point I might do some of my specialty trivia shows on a particular topic as bonus episodes. I've got 80s music and The Simpsons, Game of Thrones, Marvel, whole bunch of different topics. I might bang a few of those out as bonus episodes at some point. That's question 13. Question 14. According to Empire magazine, which sport has more films been made about than any other? And here's some multiple choice for you to pick from. Is it basketball? Is it football? Is it boxing? It's boxing by a long way, and I read up on why that might be. Filmmakers prefer that because, number one, there's normally good stories. It's one man versus one man, or one person versus one person. Women can box too, but don't know how many boxing movies there are with chicks in it. Anyway, I'm in an awkward area here, and I probably shouldn't have called them chicks. But the fact is that filmmakers like boxing movies because they can control the environment. It's different to football or basketball where you need a bigger set, more trickery in the play, all of that sort of thing. Anyway, it's boxing. I wish I hadn't started any of that. Question 14, done and dusted. We move now to more clues for the What Am I? If you remember, it's a TV show set in the 1950s in Milwaukee. What am I? My ratings began to fall during my second season until my producers chose to spotlight a previously minor character. He was a leather-jacketed biker and high school dropout. He went on to become one of the most famous TV characters of all time. The phrase "to jump the shark," meaning a show or a concept is not as good as it once was and has run out of ideas, comes from an episode of this show where the character, the leather-jacketed biker I mentioned, did exactly that. That's right, he jumped a shark on water skis. Do you know what TV show that is? More clues coming up after question 20. For now, though, question 15. In Yahtzee, how many of the same number do you need to roll to score a Yahtzee? Okay, Yahtzee is played with 5 dice, and you need to roll 5 of the same thing, so 5 sixes, 5 fives, whatever, to get a Yahtzee, and that Yahtzee will be worth 50 points. Question 16. What name is given to the home that a beaver builds? Beaver builds a lodge. That sounds very nice, doesn't it? Question 17. How many players are on the field whilst fielding in baseball? There are 9. There are 9 players fielding in baseball. Question 18. Is peridot a gemstone, a white wine, or a type of poem? Peridot is a gemstone. I don't really know my gemstones, but I do know that peridot is one of them. Question 19. Still alive or not so much? Tom Jones, the Welsh singer. Spoiler alert, I'm about to ask about him in a music question coming up, but for now, is Tom Jones still alive or not so much? At time of recording, he is still alive. He's only 85. He's going to be around for a long time yet. Question 20, as promised, a Tom Jones music question. Question 20. What girl's name, or it should probably be which girl's name, was used in the title of hit songs by both Tom Jones and the Plain White T's? That would be Delilah, as in why, Delilah? May have just blown out the microphone there. Sorry about that. Let's do the final clues for the What Am I to TV show. What am I? I launched the careers of Ron Howard and Henry Winkler, and an unknown guest star named Robin Williams, who played an alien called Mork, leading to a spin-off show, obviously Mork and Mindy. The sitcom Laverne and Shirley was also a spin-off from me. My character Fonzie's leather jacket is now on display in the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. as a genuine piece of American cultural history. I am, of course, Happy Days. Of course it is. Not a bad show in its day. I think it was only Fonzie and maybe Howard Cunningham who made it to the end of the show. The cast at the end was unrecognisable mostly to the cast in the beginning. Fun fact about Happy Days, they filmed the pilot and they shopped it around and no network wanted to take it. Until a young director called George Lucas was making a film and he was looking for an actor for it, and he cast a young Ron Howard in it. The film became a smash hit and suddenly everyone wanted Ron Howard products, and the producers of Happy Days went, hey, we got one. And that's how it happened. Okay, time now for the player questions. Last episode, Judy asked the question, what is the cartoon character Mr. Magoo's first name? I loved it. His name was Quincy Magoo, voiced by the actor Jim Backus, who was Thurston Howell III on Gilligan's Island, as I mentioned last time. What a cool question, Judy. Well done. For this episode, Linda, who did not give me a city, sent in which TV show was a character summoned by the line, Dr. Bombay, emergency, come right away. And honestly, Linda, I have no idea, but I will find out. That's a great question. Dr. Bombay, emergency, come right away. Do you know what TV show that's from? Linda would like to know if you know. I can tell Linda from me that I don't know. Anyway, I will know, and I'll tell you next episode. Okay, that is 21 questions done and dusted for another episode. If this is the first time you've listened, thank you so much for being here. I will let you know this is episode 33, I think, and there are a bunch of previous episodes. As that number would suggest, there's at least 30 more that you can go back and have a listen to and play along with if you would like to. Speaking of if you would like to, if you'd like to send me a trivia question, please do that. 21 Questions by Trivia Tribe is our Facebook page. Send me a message from there, or you can email me direct now, mike@triviatribe.com.au. Mike, my name, @triviatribe, my business.com.au, the country I live in. Good-o, mike@triviatribe.com.au. Send me an email with a player question. I will ask it in a future episode. This podcast comes out every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, so meet me back here in a couple of days. We'll do it all again. Thank you so much for your company today. Love you. Catch you next time. Bye.